Alright, welcome back to the game, guys. I've already got Zombie Grub at max, so I've turned my game sounds down ever so slightly and turned my voice down ever so slightly as well. So, again, if there's any issues, just let us know. Hopefully this sounds a little bit better for the stream. For now, though, we continue through with this best of 5, round number 2 of the day. Spawning in the top right corner of the map. He's blue, he's Terran, and he is from Nursoft. Give it up for Krass.
And in the bottom left, as the red Zerg, is Slivko.
Kind of wish Krass, or rather Nursoft, had a logo. Curious what one they would end up using, if they just go for their own team logo, or if they make it a little more playful. I mean, some people, of course, are just going to take it super serious and put your team logo on, and that looks professional. Great, fantastic. I'm not going to lie, though. I'm just going to fall in love with any player that has an absolutely absurd, like, little logo thing. I think Lily Canine from Alien Invasion has, like, Miley Cyrus on a wrecking ball. There's some really stupid ones.
You should have Beyond on a wrecking ball. That's the best picture.
Well, either way, no, I haven't. But like, my point is, like, they're funny,
on.
they're stupid, and you sit there and you can't help but laugh at them, right?
It's I guess since you don't watch Pro League, but like it's been on Reddit where it's like Bjorn, his like face on Miley Cyrus on a wrecking ball.
Oh god.
It's actually like a decent Photoshop job too, so it's really funny.
Yeah, it's like worse when people put effort into those things, because you're like, wow, okay, that's professionally done. But, okay, guys, Yansu's a bit of a funny map. Krass is, in fact, going to go Command Center first on it. A little bit risky, but you know what? You've just done two really weird, I wouldn't even classify them necessarily as cheeses, but two very aggressive attacks. Well, I guess 2x is cheese. We're not going to dick around that. But, I mean, like, the 5 Reapers and the Hellion Swarm, the 2x follow-up. Like, Slivko's not going to be playing offensive, I don't think. Like, I think, honestly, he's got to be in this kind of, not scared mindset, but, like, paranoid mindset.
Well, you know, I'm not sure how paranoid he really was. He still went up to 16 before putting that spawning pool down, so still being just a little bit greedy. Obviously, it's not like the end-all be-all if Krass did 2 racks, but you might be saying like he did it once, you're not going to do it again. The old age-old trap, I suppose.
Unless you're like QXC, that guy like 2x's a lot, or used to 2x a lot. He's been playing a lot of really good mech games lately, though. Big props to him,
yeah.
But
well, this Overlord will see that and say, alright, I can pretty much do whatever I want. Now, you can't make lings that are going to get over there fast enough to kill the SCV to halt that command center. So he probably won't even make any lings. You know, maybe 2, but maybe just try and get as greedy as possible to combat Krass's own greed.
yeah, I mean, getting this scout off on like command center like that is always really nice. You will see some players still go for the drone scout to be safe. It's really uncommon to see drone scouts, but you know, they do get there significantly faster than the Overlord. And if he had wanted to go for like 3 hatch before pool, might have been a good way to get away with it. And on Yansu, it's a map where you certainly can try and pull off those extreme greedy tactics.
Yeah, I know that some pro Zerg players are saying like you really should drone scout in TVZ because of the 2 racks, and also getting that 14cc, that SCV down is also pretty helpful. But you're right, a lot of people still just aren't. They're preferring not to. You know, they need that one drone. They need it.
You can. Yeah, here's the thing too. It's like you can argue too whether it's like lazy versus economy versus min and max. Like, and the whole time I'm just like, I think it's players are just being stubborn. They're like, I've never scouted. I don't need to scout. I think.
Yeah, I really don't know. I can't think of like, because there are some things that you can do or not do, right? Where it really messes up your timing. Like if you go for a 15 hatch in ZDZ, you're gonna have both larva pop around the same time, which is really, really nice. But, you know, like 1 extra drone, I'm not sure there's ever like, you know, oh man, now it's all messed up because I scouted. But maybe. Yeah. I actually don't want to say because I'm not a Zerg player.
Factory we placed down a little bit out of position. There we go, Krass repositioning it. Marines, I kind of like that move too. I don't know if you guys saw that. Of course, he was up here not paranoid. He was just looking for an Overlord that may have been hidden up here, but that wasn't the case. It's hidden way over here in this little nook instead. But 3rd hatchery is on the way here for Slivko. The Hellion Banshee opening is, like I said, it's been becoming, like, it used to be the go-to for such a long time. Like, in Wings of Liberty especially, that was, like, the only way you could really open up this matchup. Then, of course, the Widowmine came out, kind of nullified the use of the Banshee a little bit. It was just nice to push with, and a lot of Zerg players weren't used to it. But now we've kind of come full circle, and back to the Hellion Banshee openings becoming more and more popular. And the greatest thing that these do is, like, there's always that chance you kill the queens and just run through the mineral lines, but these give you so much map control early on. I mean, the Banshees will deal with any roaches, the Hellions will deal with any lings on the ground, and you can combine them both to take on queens, no problem.
Yeah. Additionally, going for the Banshee opener is really good defense. If they go for the, you know, 6 roach. Oh, that sucks. If they go for that 6 roach attack, they like won't do nearly as much damage if you hadn't gotten the Banshees.
Yeah.
Or if they go for an all-in, like straight up like Baneling Roach, the Banshee will actually let you survive. Where if you only went for Hellions, then you actually would literally have no army most of the time. So, yeah, I mean, I really like it. I really am glad that it came back. You know, of course, with the buff to Banshee Cloak, it's a lot easier, but just as an opener. I mean, the only thing that it's really bad against is like really fast mutas, but that is so rare.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of people do 2-base mutas that much anymore. I mean, it's was like Nurture, I think, is the only person in the last like year I've seen actually like do that specific build.
Yeah.
But Banshee wrapping around here, we'll find the hatchery unfortunately a little bit naked, so let's go to the natural instead. 3 queens though. Sport Collar on the way. This is not gonna get a lot done.
Don't take that on. Yeah, no. Immediately pulls back. He cloaks,
But
which
again,
you know you're gonna
Collar.
check, but it doesn't matter.
Well, still producing more Banshees behind this. Again, you typically want to have at least 2 or 3 out if you go for Cloak, otherwise this is a huge wasted investment. But there's a lot of Hellions on the grab. This is not your typical 6 Hellions. This is closer to 8 or 10. 9.
Yeah.
Okay, I was in between. No, over and under. Never really does that happen, but...
Well, you know, if you see this, you know, double Banshee with a lot of Hellions, a lot of times Zerg player might be like, oh, he's going mech. Which
That's not the
actually
case.
Krass is not. He just got extra ones because I feel like he really wants to apply a lot of pressure. Like, he's not just going for, you know, occasional drone kills, maybe kill some few drones. Like, he wants to take on queens with this.
Good
Just
control,
surprisingly
though.
not moving in quite yet. Actually, the Banelings are already done. I don't know what the Hellions are quite waiting for. Maybe
They could have run to the
they're trying,
natural.
Like,
Oh god, they
okay,
could have
there we
gutted the natural while this was going on. All the queens and all the Banelings and all the Zerglings are at the 3rd currently.
He's not really doing anything with them. I was gonna say maybe he got so many so he could have like 2 areas where he couldn't spread creep. But then I was
Exactly,
like,
yeah. Because for me, like, the biggest thing you always see with this is, like, you know, creep spread gets limited, damage is not too well done, but loses one of the Banshees here, unfortunately. Isn't doing much with the Hellions. A little bit curious how he plans to utilize this. And as you said, he is transitioning to bio. He's got his infrastructure up and running now. He's got some units on the way. Stim will be finished here shortly, but there's no follow-up push to this anytime soon. And Slivko's going to get away with a 4th base this early, which is kind of silly for someone who's had this many Hellions out. You know, that should have been keeping drones back, should have been keeping Ling numbers down.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, it's not like they're totally useless. When the attack comes, you know, the medevac timing, it's gonna add a lot of damage to those lings, but it is odd he didn't try and do anything with it. Maybe the creep was already too far gone that he just kind of said, well,
Yeah, might not have been
too
worth the
afraid.
time.
Yeah, I don't know. But mutas are on the way right now, as well as a very early infestation, but so could potentially go for a very fast hive. It's possible that he's... No, it's not. Never mind. He got
Well, you know
+1,
what? If he still thinks it's mech, though, these could be for
well,
swarm
that's what I was gonna
hosts.
say. But
Yeah.
he's still getting the +1 melee. So that's why I was like, well, maybe not.
Well, it could be...
Oh, and there's Overseer goes through, so now he knows for sure.
Okay. Well, now he knows for sure. As you said, plus one melee wouldn't be bad though, because again, you can kind of go for those late game broodlords as well versus mech and still be effective. So, I'm not sure what his mindset was, but Slivko's not gonna be caught off guard. Now he knows exactly what's going on. Middle stuff, of course, have already been made and invested into. Banshee finally does go down. It was poking here at the 3rd for a little bit, but a drop goes off in the main, and looks like not a lot's gonna get done. Can't even really safely pick this up due to the mutilisks either. It's a bit sad to see.
Yeah. You was kind of try and go for like, you know, get 1 Mutalisk before you die, but unfortunately that didn't work out either.
It's
And
not
this medevac
unloading.
drop
It's
is
not unloading.
next in line.
Ugh. This is just so weird. Krass played such a strong game earlier today, and now like that drop in the south as well was delayed. Like I think he was planning to use diversionary tactics. Like
What
oh,
the?
oh, I think he's gonna try and bait the mutalisk in here when he retreats.
Oh, wow, Rifkin.
That's gonna
You
be
and
super
Krass are
cool.
smart.
Oh, almost lose one of the medevacs though. That could have been really nasty.
The only medevac units too. Like, yeah, come on, bait him. I
He's
just
trying to
wanna see
bait it.
happen.
He is trying to bait it, but unfortunately there's an overseer here, and through.
Ah, lame.
That could have been really cool though. That was I like that Krass was setting that up. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, get away with the medevacs at the very least.
Okay, it's a mutalisk. Yep.
Okay. Well, so yeah, so Krass really has not been too effective with his early game anything. Like,
No.
Slivko's been very, very comfortable for the most part. But you know, I mean, the first game, I feel like maybe Krass got a mental edge because it was kind of weird. But then that too, Slivko didn't really take too much damage, right? It was just later on that suddenly Krass just like, well, like it was like 2 minutes. Suddenly he was on the winning edge. So
Yeah.
that could still happen here.
Medevac boost past is going to try and drop in the main while this goes on. Distraction tactics are definitely something that Krass is very adept with. Did get a couple Mutalists with those Widowmines too to thin out the numbers, but the drop does go down. Widowmines have been positioned. Looks like he should be able to get a decent trade out of this. Mutalists do fear for their lives back up immediately, but 4 Marines go towards the main. Gonna be able to kill a couple more drones. I mean, realistically, Krass has killed about 7 workers so far, guys. He's not doing a lot with this, which is rather unfortunate because the longer this goes, somewhat, dare I say, uncontested with, like, when it comes down to late game engagement, Slivko is going to be so much more comfortable going into this than Krass will be.
I feel like Krass's attacks have been very disjointed. What could have been beautiful ended up being like 5 seconds late on each part. So it really hasn't been working out, but it doesn't really affect his main army. As we can see, still pushing forward. He still has faster upgrades, even though Slivko did go for a kind of fast hive. I mean, actually really fast hive for, nowadays, so... So it's still looking really good. Drilling Claw's not quite done, but he's going to be able to keep this position for quite a while. The Zerg player really wants to wait till the last second to actually say okay, do I completely roll in or do I not? And usually they don't want to.
Well, rolling in. Gonna try and catch some of these Marines. Nice pick up there out of Krass.
Oh,
gotta give him his control's really good. The Banelings have been kind of eaten up by a lot of this army. There's more Widowmines to retreat on top of it. The Overseer's taken out. The Banelings can clean up so many of these Marines, but Slivko doesn't have the pushing power. In fact, getting picked off by this one small drop towards the south part, these Mutalists are forced to retreat. He's getting some Overlords with this too. This was actually a fight that went so much better for Krass than I thought it should have gone.
I thought it was going to go worse too, but yeah, he always had like the few Marines everywhere, so this was more Marines than I expected.
Oh my god,
so.
he is slaughtering Overlords.
That was a great place to put a spine crawlers. It's not really gonna work out here, but it's still pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it stops run, but like if the Hellions were trying to run by it or something, they hug the cliff. But
like
Ultros Cavern on the way. Greater Spire hand in hand with this. This is again, like I really think that faster hive, because you mentioned it moments ago. I really think a lot of that played into like he was expecting mech and probably trying to get his Broodlords out quicker, but the option for them in the late game is not gonna fare too well versus Bio. I don't think. It's like. Stim Marines are just so good at dealing with Broodlords.
Got some drones with this attack too. That makes it really scary. So many Banelings, actually more Banelings than Marines right there, but Krass will need to get collected again, pretty much. Actually, Slivko just a little too afraid. There is a drop, and that drop might have just saved Krass's, mineral line at the third. So there was not a whole lot to defend. Actually, Slivko realizes
Still isn't a whole lot to defend.
Yeah,
Widowmines are popping off what they can, but gosh, they take so long to arm. More Banelings underneath this too. In full retreat here now is Krass. He's gonna have to give up this third. He's got a good chunk of mining out of it, but it's not gonna live to see it. Well, actually, it might live here. He can clean up with the if he gets the Banelings, we can focus fire these down. He's got some pretty good spreading around the command center, but Ling's flooding in en masse behind this. And let's not forget the Ultra swap on the way. Krass is really gonna need a big army supply lead, and he is so far behind right now.
Yeah, the third command center is going to go down. There's a fourth one to replace it, but that's not so good. You want to be on 4 bases yourself at this point. And that's even going to go down, so never mind. Krass is currently down by 40 supply, and also what will soon be Ultralist means that his composition is going to be really bad. Just Marines, Widowmines, not too great against 6 Ultralist. Yeah,
he did try and get out a couple Marauders while this was going on, but whether he scouted the cavern or not, I think he did not see it. So he doesn't know about the fact that that's going to be the tech swap. And this is going to be rough. Krass played a really good game. He did some really cool tactics. I really fear for him here as we go into the late game because there's still that giant flock of Mutalisks. There's still 18 roaming about.
I feel like this is the counterattack that's going to tell him, should I leave or shouldn't I?
Oh, what did you
and if he gets completely rolled or if he even sees the Ultras, he might just GG.
Oh, yep.
There you go.
The fear struck right into his heart. Slivko brings it back though, guys. Now 2-1 in this best of 5. We'll see if the momentum can carry him through. We still got Habitation Station and Daedalus Point to get through. Two very interesting maps to not get vetoed, but Habitation Station has become quite a common map pick, I think, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.